Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Tony Jacobs. This podcast is not just about making money. It's about creating a legacy that stands the test of time. From analyzing market trends to mastering negotiation skills, we will leave no stone unturned as we guide you through different stages of real estate investing. We will bring on industry leaders and share stories from the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So now, it's time to level up your real estate game. And there's no better way to do it than right here with us at the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. So with my guy, Mr. Rocky himself.
Hey, thanks for having me again. Glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I have you on this one for my hiccup, which is a quick story. I did this podcast by myself, and what happened, I listened to myself. It was really good the night that I did it, and then the next following day, no audio. So this time I
not working.
I got backup, but hey, I know exactly what needs to be said, even better with you here. All right. So today it's going to be real estate investing A through Z, everything that you have to deal with real estate investing. So what is first off saying, it says that existing home sales have reached that a little bit over 4 million, seasonally adjusted rate since May of this year. It said JP Morgan Research expects home prices to rise by 3% overall in 2025.
Always going up.
Always. You're never going to see it go down ever at all.
And if it goes down, the next year's going to go up twice probably.
Right. And then basically, especially with real estate, we're just going to teach everybody to the fullest like what's all involved, because there's so much to deal with, what is real estate investing, how to go about acquiring it. And then the main thing, different subject, but the last one definitely is my favorite, which is going to be the mindset, because if you don't have the right mindset, how are you going to go about doing this? So you have to shift your thinking. All right. So what is real estate investing? Real estate investing involves purchasing, owning, managing, renting, or selling real estate for profit. That is what real estate investing is. Like, if you're not making anything to help with, basically like generational wealth or even offsetting your taxes, then what are you doing it for? You have to know exactly what your why is, especially when it comes to real estate investing.
For sure.
And then we're going to break down the real estate. So you got the residential properties. Residential properties, they deal with 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what does in the sector of real estate investing. Now, that deals with a conventional loan. We'll talk more about conventional loan, but then commercial deals with 5 properties and up. And I know you was trying to get in that. Well, you was trying to, but I know you're going to get in a duplex.
That's the plan. I moved from single family homes to duplexes within like the mindset of get one run from the first year. Like, I'm going to try to get single. Now it's before it was all just tax benefits, but now it's like, well, tax benefit and actual generational wealth at the end of it, which is selling all this stuff. It's actually a lot better. So if one door is vacant, you have another door that's covering,
exactly,
or help covering the mortgage cost. But yeah, just the overall benefit of having more than one door for one loan was it just made more sense.
Yes, it does, because it's always said that the more doors, the better.
Yeah,
you don't have to deal with one door, because that one door, if a person lives in that house, then they move out, you have to get somebody in there quick as possible, because, no matter what, that mortgage, that price tag, it goes on every month.
Well, I think I was watching a video of all these people that started off, even some of your people you had interviewing, all of them started off at one point. Yeah, they had a single family home rental, and then eventually, they said after time, after being comfortable and learning the stuff, they moved up to duplexes and apartments and all this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, okay, what's stopping me from just starting kind of off where they started off, but knowing what I know, why am I doing the single family home? I was just doing the math on it, and there's no reason for me not to just start off in a duplex. You're still gonna do the same kind of mortgage for it. You still do the same kind of renting, leasing out for these for the doors. But why not do 2, 3, 4 a duplex, and then eventually maybe apartments or whatever? But why always start with one door? Because you're kind of, once you do it, you're locked in for one door, a single family door. You're locked in one. Something happens, that's this problem, versus having a duplex or a fourplex. If something happens to one, like say someone moves out, whatever, you have 3 people paying the other extra half instead of you having to pay the whole thing. Okay, that's good. And then the tax benefits on top of that is even better, because the bigger your property, the bigger the more money you'll make in, but there's more deductions that you will be able to claim. So in my mind, it's like, okay, not only am I getting the bigger deductions for tax benefits, I kind of have it's almost like a safety built in that.
Yes.
If one person gets vacant and the one door is vacant, you have some other person helping, at least we have. So that, okay, you have that versus like, okay, single family home, someone moves out, you got to rent it ASAP. You got to get that thing turned over. Someone has to move it in to keep your profit up. So I'm like, yeah. So now, totally shift now. I'm like, I need a duplex. I'm not even looking at single family homes anymore. Unless it's a super good deal.
Yes.
It's something that's in the very location, right? I would do it. But right now, everything has shifted to a duplex. If I could, fourplex would be amazing, but yeah, that's a whole different.
Yeah.
You know,
In fact,
I just moved out from a house, single family home to a duplex. Look.
yeah, you're just graduating up.
Yeah.
And actually, the more you do, the easier it gets, actually.
Yeah, it's the same exact system or the same exact way of getting a single family home when you're doing a duplex.
Yes.
The only thing is you're just going to be renting out to 2, 3, 4 people versus just one. You're just doing that. So you went from like, oh, okay, I'm going to just be a single family, single door investor to boom. Now you have 4 people moved in to 4 doors. Now you're making,
X amount of money. But like you said, if someone moves out, at least you don't have to pay to that full rate. You have a cushion.
Yeah. And your deduction is going to be a lot better. The property you buy is going to be, hopefully, depending on what property you buy, it's going to be what's it called? The appraisal or the property value is going to be a lot more.
Yes.
Right? Because if you think a single family home goes up,
Yes.
a duplex, that's a nice duplex, a fourplex, whatever, it should be going up too. So overall, the more you can get into, the better. But there's, obviously there's higher risk. Yeah, figure out how to get the money and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I changed now. I changed, man.
So
I want
changed
to
that.
duplex.
I changed that. This is what I need. Yeah, when a commercial properties, it goes from five doors or more. Office buildings, retail space, warehouse, industrial. Those are commercial properties. And then you have land improvements, raw land, developed lots, agricultural. I know that off the top of my head, I did talk to someone I don't know a lot of places that do that. Basically you can purchase land, help you get the loan to purchase land. But I do know U.S. Bank, they do help out in that.
Yeah.
If there's nothing on the property, you can. And I know some of them have them structured where that if you have like a 2-year window, like, so basically you have the land, but you have to build something on the land.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do have that.
The only thing that turned me off as for land, for just like an investment property, because I was like, oh, I'm going to buy some land. I'll throw like one of those like little homes.
Oh, yeah, the mini homes.
Something like that.
Yes.
It's just like, if you don't do nothing with it, like they said, for 2 years, you're still paying property tax on it.
Yes, you are.
You're still, depending on if it's a fire zone and stuff like that, you got a tree or something on there, you want to protect all that. You got to pay insurance and stuff, all that stuff. So it's like, you're paying all these these fees and stuff on it, on literally just a piece of land.
Yeah.
There's no structure. No structure.
on it.
Like, you really got to have a game plan when you do that, for sure.
Yes, you do. We definitely do.
I thought about that.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right. And then investment strategies, deeper dive, buy and hold strategy. Because like I said, when it comes to your why, you want to know what's your why into this. So basically, your average annual return, that's definitely something critical with the buy and hold strategy. Your typical cash on cash return, depreciation benefits, like all these factor in when it comes to performance of buy and hold strategy.
That's probably the most commonly used one for like the average person. Like the average person making a decent amount of money, you're not gonna, unless you're a flipper, you can be an average good income and buy a home and flip it and all that stuff. But man, they said to flip a home, to buy a home, to flip it, 6 months, maybe 6 months, like a year, something like that. Someone was saying to actually buy it, close all it, everything, actually have it, do your rentals, improvements, and then put it back on the market, and then finally sell it. It's, I want to say 6 months to a year, right? Depending on the work, and that's fast. Say if you had a roof leak or something like that, or foundation problems, you can't get guys in there to do whatever it is. You're just waiting for the work to be done, and that's if just is one problem. Then you have another problem. So, the average person can't hold, and then the whole time you're waiting to sell it or flip it, you're paying the fee, you're paying the mortgage, you're paying all that insurance and stuff, all that stuff too. So,
yeah, I'm glad you said. So I'll bring that up right now. The fix and flip strategy says, average gross profit margins between these are numbers are just general. They're not specifically between 26 to 28%. And then typical holding period, 4 to 6 months, like you were speaking about.
Okay.
Success rate, 60 to 70% profitable flips. And then the average, renovation cost, 20 to 25% purchase price. Yeah, because when it comes to the fix and flip, it's just a matter of, like me and you was talking earlier, everything's about speed. How much time is it going to take?
Yep. Sometimes if the price is right, the house is right, the location is right.
Yes.
So if they can't flip it quick enough, then their profit starts dwindling down.
Yes.
I've seen people the podcast where they're like, that'd be a great deal, great house, but it took too long to flip it because of getting permits or whatever the case is. And there's like, we end up losing money because it took forever to finally flip it. So once they do the math and everything, they're like, it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth their time and effort.
Yeah. Unless you hold, right?
Yes.
Then I think they actually ended up holding it because they're like, look, to make our money back, we have to hold it for like 5 years. And then they'll triple the money back after they sell it and everything with appreciation and everything. But they're holding it. But yeah. And then holding is probably the best, I think, for just long term.
Yeah. And especially, because, rents, they never go down. They always go up.
10% a year in California.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you got the Burr strategy, Pace Moore, but he's, boy, I tell you, he'd be loving the Burr strategy. It's the method is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In the fast-paced world of real estate, success hinges on information. Introducing PropStream, your all-in-one real estate solution. Find properties, analyze markets, and generate leads effortlessly. With PropStream, you're always one step ahead. Access it anytime, anywhere, and watch your business thrive. Don't miss out on the future of real estate. Get started with PropStream today. Visit trial.propstreampro.com/Tony Jacobs for a 7-day free trial and revolutionize your real estate game. PropStream, your key to real estate success. Don't wait. Start now.
Yeah, that's a great way too. Great strategy used also. So purchase distressed property with cash or hard money, renovate to increase value and rental income, rent to establish cash flow, refinance to pull over invested capital, repeat process with recycled capital.
Yeah.
So you just keep on recycling that.
Yeah.
Recycling that. And then that capital, eventually, I mean, it's going to get so big where you're like, I need to move on to something bigger.
Yep.
That's what it's going to come down to.
I think the hardest part about the whole burn method is the rehab part.
Yes.
Because you can get a loan, you can buy a house, but if you don't know like exactly what needs to be done and how it's be done, you can like, oh yeah, it just needs a roof, and you end up, I don't know, you find a contractor, it takes forever for them to come check it out. They do their little assessment, like cost you this much. You're like, okay, 20 grand. You're like, okay, I think that sounds all right. And then you don't do your due diligence and find another contractor to see. And it come to find out it was only like 10 grand to do it. So you're like, that part, I feel like that's probably the hardest part is once it's a rehab, once to say it needs a new roof, it needs maybe some plumbing work and a new paint job and some landscaping, boom, you're good to go. Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, oh, who do I call? What action needs to be done? What can I save money on? Do you really need the top notch paint job in the house, or do you just need a quick flat gray or something like that? Like, I think people, that's what I do. That's all I get worried about when I thought about buying a flipper. I was like, oh, what exactly am I getting into?
Exactly.
Right.
And then I also, when you were saying that, I was thinking also too, supplies. Like what about the supply and demand of something and it's short and it's out for 3 to 4 months. Like, what do you do? What is going to be your backup?
Exactly. The rehab's the hardest part. So like, you're just sitting there waiting for the roof guy to come. He said, "I'll be in 2 weeks." You're like, 2 weeks?
Right.
All right. I guess I'll just sit here and it'll take a day or two to get done. And it's like, oh man, you're just sitting and waiting. And if you're impatient like me, man, oh dude, waiting 2 weeks so that's all it needs to be done. I put it back on the market. Like,
yes.
Or there's different strategies of doing it, I guess. You can always, when we were looking at houses one time, they said, we're going to paint the house and do the roof. It's not done yet. You can buy it. We can do the whole process of buying it. And as we're buying it, we'll get those done. So those are little things kind of speed up too. Like it was in the contract. Like the roof is going to get done. It's just the guy that the companies that are going to do it, they don't have room or time to do it right now. But if you buy this house, it will get done. Like that's the contract. So that's a different way to kind of speeding up the thing. But again, it's like, maybe they'll go.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
Exactly. Right. Maybe unforeseen occurrence happens, and they're like, hold on, now we're going to be out how many weeks or how many months?
You bought a house and the roof is still got a hole in it? Oh, man.
I said, no, this process is not going to happen.
Yeah, don't buy a car that can't run. Don't buy a boat that don't float.
Exactly.
Don't buy a house that has a hole in the roof.
Yeah, the next one is, this is Mr. Marcus Harvey's thing right here, the wholesaling. So apply distressed properties under market value, contract directly with sellers, sign contracts to investors, or I said investor buyers, and then you earn your fees. It could be from any amount. What's negotiable right there, and then the wholesale is actually you basically, if you see a distressed home, and if you know an investor that wants to be a part of the contract, and they will stipulate how everything is structured, and then when it sells, you'll get paid.
That's probably like the smoothest way of doing it without actually getting into rehab and doing all the inspection stuff. You're basically just making it easier for the investor to buy, right?
Yes, you are.
Like that one house down my road.
Yes. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yes. That was
do. Let's say yes, I'll sell it to you.
Would have been a good
investment project.
And exactly what it's doing when it comes up. Also, yes, like even mailing. So what this gentleman right here, Mr. Rocky, he actually has seen a distressed home, and it was distressed. All right. There was I don't know what was living in the pool. And it was weeds everywhere, and it was a nice area, nice community, and it was just a sore thumb where it was at.
Right there.
And he got a hold of me, and I was able to get the address of the owner. So we're praying that the address is correct.
Yeah.
And you mailed it out, and she did get in contact with.
That we live in California, and the owner lived in Texas.
Yes.
And it was like her mother or something like that. it was a inherited property she had,
Yes, it was.
and she wanted, I want to say, I don't know, she wanted like 300K or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yes,
And it was
somewhere around there.
And then you and your guy were like, no, this thing's like 250 max. because of
Exactly.
the
Everything
work.
had to go through. Yes.
So it was a difference of 50,000. I want to say, right, roughly. That if she would have said, even if she, I think, didn't he count off for like, can probably go like 260 or something?
Yeah,
like
we
that?
did. We did.
And she was like, no, I want three. I think
She was firm on
10 or
what she
something like
wanted.
that. I think eventually, the numbers didn't work out. I think he actually eventually sold. I want to say it did sell for like 290, 300 or something like that. But like, only thing she had to do was say, yay,
Yes.
yes.
And it's still, and that method still works of mailing. Yeah, I was really, when you told me that, I was surprised because she called you? Did she call you?
She called me. Yes.
I think she called you.
She called and left a text message saying, I got your letter, your mail. I'm so. I live in Texas. I think she did say I headed today. I'm interested in taking an offer, but your offer's too. This is a number to contact me or so. And then I gave that information to you and your guy, and then you guys sent an offer. And then it was, it's just couldn't meet on the offer number. But the fact that we found a distress loan, the nice thing, worth rehabbing.
Yes.
We sent out a contact information just to whoever was the owner of the thing, sent it out to whoever, and we got a response back. That's like cold knocking on doors.
Yeah.
The best way.
The old school way.
Yeah. That's like, just find out. And then I think, I want to say a week or two later, because it was all in Texas. Then they got the text me and said, hey, that's your letter.
Yes. It was actually, it was a quick response.
Wasn't that crazy? Like,
yeah.
Dude. And it went from like, she had to say yes to that game to you guy would have been like, let's move on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that location.
Oh, yeah. The perfect location.
Too bad. Pool, corner lot.
And even, did it have a hot tub in there?
It didn't have a hot tub koozie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the enclosed.
Enclosed, yeah.
And two and a half? At least two car
garage.
Oh, man. Yeah, if you would ever throw like 100K into it, you would like max profit.
Yes.
You could have max profit that thing. It would have been like, it went from the slum of the neighborhood to probably like one of the best homes.
Well, yeah, it would have brought the property value up for all around homes around it.
Yep. But now if fans moved in there, they're doing the re-empowerment, but they're living there.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
That's another trend.
Yes, it is. And then you got the active, we won't concentrate on this too much, whether it's the active and passive investing. The REITs, which is a real estate investment trust, those usually are done by the stock market.
Yeah.
So there's REITs that deal with multifamily, and you can do a part of that. The other part is the syndication, which I love. The syndication, basically, just a pool of people, and they put their money up in it. They have people who orchestrate, concentrate as to what type of property that they're investing in, and then they'll keep you an accurate report of what's going on with the investment. And then they always have an exit strategy. It's usually like majority of times it's either 5 years or 7 years. And then, you can get that money back, everything back, and then you can invest in something else.
Yeah. That's probably the most like passive way to deal with it.
Yes.
Here's X amount of money. End of the year, it's gonna double. And this is their contract. Say you give us this much money at the end of this year, depending on how long the contract is, a year, 5 years, whatever the plan is. Let's say this is exactly how much you're gonna get paid.
Yes. Yeah.
If everything goes well, which usually it's pretty safe because you vet these syndications. Reputable.
You don't want people who have a history of knowing what's going on. They're credible. They know they have a portfolio of what things they have purchased throughout time.
Yeah, I would love to get in one.
Yeah, that's my main thing right there. Is syndication.
Just keep every year just getting another one. But the hardest thing about those though, you gotta come up with.
You got to come up with a good amount of capital. The lowest I've seen is $25,000. and then it goes up there, and the average I've seen is 75,000.
Yeah.
And for people who want to, if you have a LinkedIn profile, this is a gem right here. If you have a LinkedIn profile and you're an investor and you don't have a LinkedIn profile, set one up. You can get contacts all the time. I definitely do. I've had a few offers coming. I have an offer, basically that's going on right now. It's down in Southern California. It's actually commercial. It's a Walgreens, a few others, and they actually send you out a portfolio of everything that's dealt with the neighborhood, what the crime is. They send you everything that you need to know about that atmosphere of where they're investing at, where you need to invest at, to get into one. So I would say the gym is definitely LinkedIn. I even talked to someone about that, and it's like, if it wasn't for LinkedIn, they wouldn't have been investing like the heavy, like they should be.
Just vetting them and like looking at their company. So that's probably the biggest thing. Because if someone told you, hey, look, there's going to be a lot of money you put down, but it's within 5 years, you're going to triple it. And this is money that if you're not really touching, you really want to invest it, you want to be made passive and not do nothing with it. It's probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Safest way. But for me, you can get scammed left and right on this thing because there's people come look at us. They can do a whole website, set all this fake stuff up, do all this fake stuff, and then you're like, okay, send this money here, and you never hear them again. You think the whole time you might get invested. That's probably if you find a good syndication and actual people that are gonna do that, then oh my God, that's a gem right there. That's like,
yeah, it is. And I think too, you also got to do your fiduciary duty and make sure that, I mean, when you're kicking down that much money on like that right there in investing, you want to make sure everything. So you want to talk to people like, hey, I want to see what your portfolio is. You don't have to show me everything, but I want to see 2 or 3 deals at least what you've done.
Yeah.
Then we can talk further. Yeah. I think that's the best way.
Yeah. Hard find. It's not hard finding a syndication. Just find one that you're comfortable with.
Yeah. The next one is, I'll deal with the next one when it comes to building a team, which is definitely huge. The first one, it says real estate investor, and it says investor focus, which is true because there's some real estate agents that just straight real estate. That's it. But then there's some real estate agents that circle around and they're like, okay, I know real estate, and then I know about the investing part. I know what's needed to help out whoever needs help with the investing part.
Yeah.
And also do this too. Deal with an agent who is going to meet your needs, because there's a lot of agents out there that they're just for that commission.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie. I work with someone where I'm just like, they already was thinking about their commissioning before the transaction was complete.
Yeah.
And they were trying to push everything, but you want somebody that's going to be compassionate, that's going to meet your needs, and they're going to go above and beyond to help you and when you do that, like, that speaks volumes, because when you treat them that certain way, what's going to happen? Word of mouth. Word of mouth is the biggest ever to helping out anyone's business, because they're like, hold on, I work with this realtor and check this out. This is what he did for me. He's going to do the same thing for you. And before you know it, you're like, well, how did I attract so much business? Why? Because as I always say, like, even, I say it all the time. I say, show some Southern hospitality. You show hospitality to the fullest, helping them out with all their needs.
Yeah.
And that's going to help out a whole lot. And then the next one would be, we was talking about this earlier, a mortgage lender or broker, definitely for your needs. Because there's so many people out there they're always concentrating on, well, we need to get this done because I need to get this commission.
Yeah.
No, you need to help out everyone to the fullest. Don't worry about, everybody knows we all need to make an income, but don't let that be your focus. Because if you concentrate just on helping that person, the income is going to come.
Yeah.
That's just plain and simple like that. But you want to be trustworthy in everything that you do. And you don't want a bad name out there in any type of way.
Well, my story with my mortgage brokers that I was talking to, when I try to get the qualify for my loan for the duplex, I talked to one that was like, he was great. He was fine and everything. But then for some reason, he was coming at me as if I was trying to like cheat the system or trying to, not live into, not use the property for what I said it was. And I'm like, I don't know what his deal was, but he's like, you want to have a home, you want to buy a second home. I was like, yes. Are you going to use that for investment property? I was like, maybe. I don't know yet. I might have a family member moving in with me, but I want to buy a second home just in case. And he was asking me questions as if I was going to use it strictly for a rental property. And I was like, no, I don't know yet, but I want to buy a second home. Like, there should be no problem of me buying 2, 3, 4 homes, right? I was like, what was his deal about he wanted me to write a letter saying why I'm buying a home. I was like, what? I've never heard about this. I didn't have to do that when I bought my first home. Like, why would I have to write a letter like to underwriter just to make sure that I was going to buy a home, the second home and live in it? I was like, so what's the deal? Like,
what's your angle? Where are you coming from?
And then I talked to another lender because I was like, oh, this is weird. And I was like, is there a problem? I talked to another lender and I was like, is there a problem with me buying a second home? She's like, no. She's like, there's no reason for you to have to write us a letter of why you're buying a home. It's like, you're buying a home. You buy 2, 3, 4, 5 homes. It doesn't matter what you're buying them for, because that's once we sell you the home and the loan goes through and everything, you do whatever you want with it. I was like, that's what I thought too. But I don't know what his deal was, but yeah, I ended up not going with that, bro. Just because he was questioning my motives of buying the home, and I was a little, and I was like, I didn't want to deal with this guy. I don't know what his deal was, but
you don't know what.
And then I went with 1 or 2 other loan officers, and I asked them some questions like, is there a problem with me trying to buy another home? Like, do I have to show, get letters and prove why I'm going to buy a second home? They're like, no. There's like, if you buy a second home, that's fine. You do whatever you want with the other one. It's just nice to know what you're going to do with it, but there's no reason why you should be like friend or whatever.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a requirement.
So I was just dealing with that extra stuff, and I don't know. He had some kind of a notion, presumption of me or something like that. I don't know, but that was weird.
Yeah,
I'm dealing with that.
So that basically telling everybody, all realtors, all mortgage brokers / lenders, they're not built the same.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying right now.
The second lady was so nice. She was like, "Oh, it's awesome. You want to buy another home?" A lot of people came about the first one. She was super excited for me. She's like, I don't see no problem. You have the income for you. You have great credit. She's like, I don't see no problem with you getting approved, and I don't see no reason of us getting this deal going once you say yay to the property. I was like, I like this person. I'm gonna stick with her. Just from her personality versus the other one's like questioning. The other guy questioning, can I afford it? What's it for? How many people who's gonna be living there? I was like, what?
Right. Exactly.
I've never heard a loan officer ask me all these extra stuff. I'm like, why does it matter who's gonna live there? I'm gonna buy it, and whoever's gonna live there is gonna live there. I'm gonna
exactly.
Well, that's my problem. But it's just crazy dealing with that. I don't know what the case was.
So, best scenario: find someone credible, someone that relates to you, someone that you're comfortable with. When it comes down to a mortgage broker / lender, the next one is the CPA, the real estate specialist. So like I said, the last podcast I tried to do by myself, but then I lost the audio. What I was talking about is I was mentioning you about this one, especially like a quick story about our tax lady.
Oh yeah,
she's amazing, and because the person I was doing my taxes for, I was paying him a couple $100s more until you led me to the direction of water the right way. And I was able to use the one we've been using her for the past few years. Yep. You definitely want to find the right CPA that deals with real estate, especially with depreciation, because a lot of people don't know how depreciation works.
Yes.
Tax strategy, the entity structure guidance with when I'm talking about that is the LLC or the S Corp.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and then like people don't know this, but when you pay for the CPA, that's actually a business expense. And then the next following year, you can use it as a business expense. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
So you got to eat the first year, right?
You have to eat the first year.
But then the second year is a write-off. So as long as you have your LLC, you can always write off your tax expenses. And if you have your LLC mixed in with your personal income, then every single year from the first year, you're basically getting your
you're getting it back.
The deductions and stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm getting a good, like our tax lady, she didn't have to really go into what all we needed, because we knew enough to like, hey, there's deductions that I have. I know I get deductions for my home office. I know I get deductions for this, and this. My mom is do that. And she was like, yeah, you sure do. And she's like, yep, give me the numbers. She knew exactly what we talked about. We gave her the numbers. She plugged them in. It was good. And people, if you go to a tax person, just a random,
your H&R Block,
whatever tax places you go to, they're so used to just doing the average person that has no LLC, no business expenses, no nothing. And they do their taxes and they're done. For her, she knew what to ask. She's like, you have an LLC, right? Okay, great. How are you going to pay the annual fee? Are you going to, here's the coupon or the receipt to pay your annual fee for your LLC. Oh, the business expenses for this and this and this. You have this, right? Or you don't. Like she's telling us all this stuff because she doesn't want to miss it. Because the worst thing you want to do is have to amend your taxes. But if you come in to someone that doesn't know or doesn't deal with it all the time, they're not going to ask you for it. They're just going to, okay, you gave me this, the numbers, I'm going to plug them in, and that's good to go. And you're thinking, okay, like I'm pretty sure there's something, the deduction, appreciation or something I got to do. And you'll never know because the person's not used to it. So you go to tax person that does it, that's a reputable one, and that has a, what's it called? It has an EA or CPA.
Yeah.
They're actual tax representatives that if something happens to you, your taxes, that if something happens, your numbers are wrong, they can actually represent you and be like, no, we did their taxes. This is exactly what we did, and file that for you with the fee. But they have that background.
Yes, they do.
Versus you go into H&R Block, whatever. You put your numbers in, AI generates the stuff for you, and that's it. So if they mess up, it's on you. You have to go find a CPA, find someone else to actually crush the numbers again and figure out what happened. But for us, our lady has all of her stuff. She can pull it up whenever she needs to and give us the paperwork. So there's someone, she's almost like a secretary to our taxes. They're like, hey, I got a letter from the IRS a couple months ago saying that I didn't file tax form number so. And I was like, I don't know about this at all. And I called my tax lady up instead of just calling H&R Block or whatever the place
for is.
Yeah, AI generated tax places. They're not going to have an online with 800. They're going to have 800 numbers say click so to talk so. Then like 2 hours later, you might tell someone.
Yeah,
we actually have a tax lady. You pay more, but what she's able to do and do for us is worth it. She was able to like, oh yeah, we do this. She's like, hold on, we already did that. She made photocopies of everything, sent it, faxed it the right way, and it was all said and done back from the IRS, which is great.
Oh yeah, and you could sleep at night.
I was like,
you could sleep at
night.
Come
back again for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said, my buddy had a rental property, and that's what happened to him. He went to a reputable tax person. And they messed up my taxes probably 3 or 4 times because they forgot to put this in or put the depreciation. They forgot to put deductions in. It was just however they did it. They finally reconciled it and they got it done. And then the numbers still, for me, I don't know too much about taxes, but the numbers still did not look right to me. I was like, look, take it to my tax people. And just have them re-amend it. Because I'm pretty sure you can amend this a couple of times. And they amended it, and he's still going to get, they amended it, and he's going to get money back. This is a year, 2 years ago, or about 2 years ago, something like that.
At least he gets money back. He doesn't owe.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, how horrible is that?
Yeah, going through that many times.
Going somewhere that you think is reputable and that know their stuff, and they just mess up left and right, left and right, left and right. It's like, dude, yes. Now you find a good one. It's just like a doctor. You find a good doctor, you'll stick with them to the end.
Exactly.
And that's what we got. And our tech lady, she's young. She's always there. She's always helpful. And she's going to be there for a minute.
Easy access to get a hold of.
Easy too. Easy, yeah, for sure. She's a phone call away always. She's like, yeah.
The next one we deal with is, we're not tax consultants, but when it comes to that, and this is another one that goes together with it is, credit requirements. You got your conventional loan. It says here, it says 720 or for best rates, but the better your credit score is, the better your interest rate is going to be. That's what it comes down to. And and then you got your FHA loans. It says 580 minimum, but then 640 with 3.5 down. The FHA is really good right there. Then you got your VA loans, which anybody who is a veteran, and you would love to get a VA loan because why? There's no minimum down. And they usually do it with the score of like 620 right there. So those are the requirements. And I was talking on the podcast that did come out, and I remember saying this: if you want to work on your credit, and I was telling you about the AI. AI is so powerful right now. Like, everybody needs to wake up to it. I remember Pace Morby was saying, like, in a couple of years that if you're not basically on that wagon with AI, then you're going to be left behind. That only thing I would say different what he said is, I say, Pace, I want to say you might be wrong. I love you to death, but I think if you're not on board in the next 6 months, because AI is changing as we speak right now, every second, every day. I can't even keep up with everything that it has. But what I'm getting at is if your credit needs to be fixed, you actually can upload your credit report in AI, and you can tell it with the best description possible. Tell it like, hey, I need to fix my credit at such and such score. How do I go about it? It will actually bring up what needs to be fixed on your report.
Oh, yeah.
To get what you want. So that is a great tool to use as to getting your credit where you need to be to get yourself into real estate investing.
Yeah, there's people that do that. There's people that they do that. They say like debt consolidation.
Yes,
they'll come in and the AI will actually say you can do. These are your options.
Yes,
these are your credit, your debt. It's like, if you focus on paying this, you put on this, like, it can help. This is the best way to get your credit up. This is the best way to get your debt down, all that stuff. But there's people that do it that actually help you get a better credit score. They basically tell you how to get it and stuff, and what kind of programs and loans and stuff you can get to help and start paying on to help generate your increase your credit score. But AI now, you just plug it in and say, how do you fix it? Where do I start? And they'll tell you.
You can do it straight at home. You don't even really have to call anybody, and it's getting stronger and stronger. So right now, I know there's a gentleman I listen to on YouTube, and he said right now we're at ChatGPT 4.0, I believe. He said, wait till ChatGPT 5.0 comes out. Your mind is going to be blown away as what is it going to do. And then, like, just throw it off top of what I talk about AI, because a lot of stuff in real estate, even real estate investing, is dealt with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling you, it's at the point with AI right now that if you have a business that has about maybe 20, 25 people in HR, they have systems in place that one person can basically run an HR with one person. Like, the programs right now is incredible. It's incredible what's going on. Like, for instance, coding. Coding used to be huge and everything. AI has got that on lockdown already. They said basically maybe in a year or two, there won't be a need for a coder because AI is so precise at coding, it's unreal.
Yeah.
So if use any tools, I would say use any tools that you can, especially when it comes to the AI for real estate investing.
Yeah.
Because that's what all these companies are. If they're not using it, they're doing it in little increments, and there's a lot that are using it a lot right now.
Yeah, you can buy a whole home without talking to one person. It's all, like the mortgage broker. Like I think the only reason they need a mortgage broker is to make sure they're dealing with a real person.
Yes,
the real buyer, because you can just plug in the numbers, your income, everything, send all the paperwork and necessary numbers they need, and they be like, okay, you approve for this loan, this much. You know, you approve for this much, your rate would be this. I'll say that. Go look for a house.
Exactly. And like I said, everybody's paying for speed. That's what it's coming down to. Everyone's paying for speed. The faster you can get it, the better.
Yeah.
That's what this war of with AI comes to. Like, how fast can you get it? How fast and how accurate and how credible can you get it?
Yep.
And then I'm just going to skip a couple things because, like I said, I got a book here of all different types. And I know I'm going to have Marcus on this. Whatever we don't touch base with, I'll touch base with him. When you deal with real estate investing, you also want to deal with due diligence. You want to make sure, because how we was talking about with properties and everything, you want to do your due diligence, like with the roof. How long is that? How long was the last time that roof been repaired? Plumbing. My thing, my with you is definitely the roofing. Mine's as huge as the plumbing because it's out of sight.
Yeah.
So anything out of sight, especially plumbing, or like how long is these pipes? What type of materials pipes underneath?
Yeah.
How long? Like, is there any trees close by these pipes that is shifting the pipes, which is going to be a huge problem? All that comes into place, like the HVAC system, electrical is huge because that's another thing that's out of sight. Also, that's into the walls and everything. And then you got, of course, like I said, the plumbing. The other part of the due diligence is the financial due diligence, the rent rolls verification. That's huge because that's how you raise your rents. Like, there's some place I bet you still to this very day, rent hasn't been raised up for the longest.
That's what happened when we looked at that duplex.
Oh, yes.
We looked at duplex. I'm like, dude, I'm just looking at a duplex from an outsider and an investor going like, dude, those duplexes should be renting anywhere from like 18 to 2,000 per duplex on the east side. Cause it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, a covered patio, very, very nice neighborhood. And I was like, at a minimum 18 to 2,000, maybe even more.
Yeah.
Let's say 18 to 2,000. And then we looked at the rent rolls. They're paying only $1,500. I was paying $1,500, and I was like paying like $1,550 or something like that per unit. I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of meat on that bone if we get that property.
Up.
And I'm pretty sure we're looking at it, and I don't know what page it was that you sent me, but they were getting ready. The people that were living there were getting ready to leave. So that's like the best opportunity to come in there, do some rehab, and make it look more presentable. Give a reason why you're going to raise the rent up.
Oh, yes.
And then, boom, now you're in the money. Now you're renting exactly where it needs to be at with, the area and everything. And then you're making money. But yeah, if you go in there and they're already paying $2,000 a month on rent, you think you're going to raise it more. You can't raise it more than 10%.
No.
That year, the next year, you can't even go in there and raise it unless you have a significant reason why to raise it, like upgrading everything from the appliances to lights to paint, roof. Then you can probably make a case, but California, nowhere in 10%.
No. And I remember you telling me that because that part where you said the information, that's another side of a good realtor. Why? Because I remember that situation of that remark. That remark was in the private remarks that someone was moving out on one of the sides.
Yep.
So I'm like, hold on, they're moving out. Not that none of them was space and opportunity.
Yep.
You can upgrade what you need to. Why? Because there's no tenants on that side right there.
Yeah. Because the hardest thing, for real, thinking about it, if you bought a rental property, a duplex, something like that, and there's people living there already, and you want to upgrade, it's going to be hard because who knows, they're living there for 5-6 years or whatever the case may be. You got to, maybe put them up in a hotel to upgrade some things or whatever the case is. Like, but if they're already moving out, in a vacant place that is nothing but opportunity and play a meat on that bone to raise that the rent to the where it should be at. Oh man, that was like the best case scenario, but
Yes.
it is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, the conventional investment loans, the Fannie Mae. There's so many. Look, I'm not going to break this all down completely, especially when it comes to that mortgage part. But I know me and you've talked a lot. There's a lot of programs out there.
Yeah.
Like you need to talk to someone that you're comfortable with, especially in that lending category, because that can help you out so much.
Your broker should know all this. Your broker should know all of the opportunities that you can probably qualify for with your income and with your credit score. Because I remember they wanted to lock me in the conventional loan, but I was like, hey, what about the FHA thing? What about this first time buyer thing? Is that even a thing? And we started talking about everything. And I was like, I heard about this 5-arm thing, 10-arm thing, 50. What's that mean? And she helped break it down to me like, oh, so you can lock it in with and adjust. What's the adjustable rate? Like, how's that work? Does it change every year, every month? How's that work? And like, depending if the market's doing great, that might be the best option if you're gonna only have it for a couple of years as a rental property to sell it. If the loan fits your your goal for the house or for the property, it's always good to explore those because you don't want to get locked in a conventional loan and high rate and pay all this money for 5 years and you only want to keep the rental property for, let's say, 3 years. It's like, hey, let's get an FHA. You'll pay a lot less up front, but you pay a lot less up front. Your interest rate might be a little higher, but like doesn't matter because the property is going to rent out and cash flow you more than what you would be paying on a conventional loan. The conventional loan might be good because it'll stay like that locked in rate for 30 years. But if you're not going to stay there for 30 years, then why worry about the interest rate when someone else is going to pay for it?
Yeah, true.
Yes. But if you want to stay there for a long-term hold, right, then that 30 years is going to look a lot more interesting or a lot more beneficial holding for 30 years and keeping locked in that low interest rate. If you get a low interest rate versus the FHA that can fluctuate a little bit, you're paying a lot more interest. You might be making more money on the rental property, but at the end of the year, you might be paying a lot more on interest, and you're not really going to be making an annual increase of your ROI because you're paying a lot more interest than a conventional. But there's all this little tidbits.
Yeah, I mean, it's
thinking about it. I was like, there's so break that down quick.
There's so much to it.
Yeah,
and then the one I definitely especially with taxes, the tax incentives benefits, the depreciation benefits, the basic structure. So residential rental properties, they depreciate over 27 and a half years. Commercial properties, they depreciate over 39 years.
Yeah.
And then the land value excluded from depreciation and a straight line depreciation method. So it gives a calculation of an example. So say like if the property was $275,000 and the land value was $50,000, the depreciable basis is $225,000. So the annual depreciation of $225,000, and it's going to be for a residential, that your annual depreciation each year is $8,182.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. Depreciation is amazing.
Yeah. So whatever money you make that year, let's say your depreciation is 30 grand a year, and you made 24,000 in rental income that they're paying you, and you depreciate 30,000, it's going to look like you didn't make nothing. You made zero that year. Matter of fact, the government owe you money or owe you more deductions, and you made zero that year, even though someone is probably paid the same, made $2,000 a month, payments for you for a year, so 24,000. So someone paid you 24,000 to live in your rental property, and you're able to write all that off as if you made zero. So you have to pay zero taxes on what you just made. And then depending on your annual, depending on what you made on your job, or if you had a job, you can use the extra 6% or 6,000 on your deduction into your W-2. So
Yes.
so we can lower your taxable income. So you paid so much in taxes. If you paid $6,000 over in taxes, but then you got depreciation of 6,000, you use that. The government's gonna be like, you know what? We owe you money this year because you paid way more in taxes. So
Yeah. And I believe, I'm not a tax consultant, but I believe, because I've studied about that. And from what I've studied is, say if the government owes you money, that it gets carried over to the next year.
Yeah, it gets
carried over to next year, which, boy, that's still a good cushion.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. January 1st of whatever that year, like you already got that cushion already applied.
Yeah, it helps lower you to a different tax bracket for the money you made over that tax bracket. And then instead of paying, 26% on whatever money you made over that tax bracket, now you're able to touch that tax bracket. Now you're only paying like the 22.
Yes.
But yeah, it just, once you start really, like for me, once you start really like realizing how much you're paying in taxes, right? Because that's why they take state and federal out and Social Security, they take that all out before you actually see the money in your account. When you realize how much you pay in taxes, and what that really means is you made $100,000 this year net, or $100,000 right, annual, but you only net really like 70 because you pay like 30,000 in taxes. And it's like, how do you get that money back? Right?
Yes.
You have to find ways to pay less in taxes so you can actually get more of the money you made. So what's the best way to do that? Get around a profit, get it something that's going to help lower your taxable income and make money at the same time.
Yes.
That's the
best way. That's
you
the only
always
way.
start thinking about how much money you're losing versus how much money you could be making. You're like, man, how do I do that? And that's when I was like, that's what really got me going. I'm making so much money now, and I'm losing so much, or I'm paying so much in taxes, and you're telling me I'm not going to ever see that money ever again?
No.
Like, how can we lower that?
Because we're always going to have to pay federal taxes. That's why a lot of people, they like moving to the Midwest, the South, and especially those states that have no state income tax.
Yeah.
That's one tax they don't have to worry about. Now, they make up that tax somewhere or another in different forms and ways, but at least they're like, you know what, at least I don't have that state income tax. But that federal, always going to have to pick
That federal, man, it has to.
That federal is a killer. I'm off topic. Because I love sports, and like some of these contracts that I see, and they break it down like, here's how much federal is, here's how much our state is. And I'm like, that federal, I'm just like, my heart is like, oh my God, I could pay that much in federal rate there. The state's not really a killer, but that federal is definitely a killer when it comes to taxes.
And you always hear that saying too, like, why work more? Why work more doesn't take more in taxes?
Yeah.
Well, you work more because you're going to make more. Right?
Yeah.
And no matter how much you work more, it's still going to tax you the appropriate amount, right?
Yes.
So it's just the real answer question is, answer to that, why work more, is like, work more. Find ways to lower your taxable income.
Yeah. And I tell people, like, if you work more, do it for something. What's your ultimate goal? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm around people who are, man, they don't have it. They said that there's been so many people, you have to have a side hustle to offset your taxes. You have to, because if you don't, you're just giving money. You're throwing money away. Like, do something, start a podcast, start something like lawn service, do something to offset those taxes, because no matter what, what do they say? The two things, death and taxes. Those are the only two things that will never, ever change.
Yeah, I just want to open up my LLC just so I can get some, lower my taxable income down.
Yeah. Is that
it lowered it enough to where it was actually, because I made enough to where my LLC deductions actually made a difference.
Yes.
I could actually see it dropped me down different tax bracket, and they helped me because I pay so much in taxes with the amount of money I make now that every year I'm for sure getting money back because my deductions lower my tax code. So I still pay every paycheck. I still pay federal and state, whatever the taxes are on how much I make. But at the end of the year, I've always got more money back because I paid more into it. Versus like, you're not getting none of that. You paid exactly what you needed to pay. And thank you.
Exactly. Right.
I was like, thank you. You pay your taxes
for all your hard work.
Like anyone else. But yeah, too bad to get more money back because of having a business and using the deductions. Definitely help. It costs a little bit, a little know-how. Right? It's not hard to get one online, but you got to know, that there's an annual fee, better go to a tax person that knows about deductions because you don't want to, maybe reason to get an LLC and a business to lower your taxable income, but you don't know exactly what deductions to deduct.
Especially in this state, because we have the highest annual, because there's certain other states there, it doesn't even cost that much for the LLC, but this state is outrageous and everything. Pretty sure they're gonna charge tax for us to breed pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of little things to know when you open up LLC. And red flags, when you open up LLC, try to lower your tax deductions and get red flags or have the RS on you, IRS on you. But once you get the hang of it, once you know what you're looking for and why you're doing it, yeah, it's almost a no-brainer not to use some of these tax deductions that no one else is using. Because with the business, you can write out damn near everything off.
Yeah,
like our meetings for lunch or dinner, or clothing, mileage. You can write everything off.
Yes, you can.
You just gotta make sure it's within your
definitely within your means. Yes. Yeah. The biggest one when it comes to appreciation is that bonus depreciation. So now, it started after January 19th of 2025. That bonus depreciation is at 100%.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That's that gem right there.
I didn't get a dang property right now.
That's that gem right there. 100% depreciation. That is amazing. And then you have the 1031 exchange with the 1031. So basically, say for my man Rocky, he had $1 million property. He's like, Tony, I'm going to sell it. And they're like, okay. How much you buy it for? Buy for $550. Now it's worth $1 million. Okay. Sell it for $1 million. But he's got that property gains tax.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen next? I'm going to find him a property and get him in a contract in 45 days. Because if you do not, you have a time period. If you do not get him in that 45-day identification period, he's got to pay all that capital gains tax back. That's huge. That's huge. So the 1031 is actually a great source to use to leveraging, especially that capital gains, because you don't want to pay that capital gains tax. And like that federal side, like you said, it's going to be outrageous.
Someone asked me, how does that work? If you bought a house for $300,000 and the property volume goes up, and let's say you have it set for $500,000 without your own stuff, so you're making, and they lived there for X amount of years, so they're making over like $200,000 profit if they sell this house. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. You're gonna get a check for that much, but then you're gonna pay taxes on that much. So I told them about there's a thing called 1031 that you buy a house and you can use all the profit. Right, you gotta pay off whatever left on the loan.
Yeah.
And then you take the profit, and then instead of just keep it in the bank or something like that, because you're gonna buy another home. Like, yeah, most likely you're gonna buy another home. It's like if you do it in this time frame, you can actually 1031 it and buy your new home and use all that profit in it. And then they're like, well, how do I only want to use, like, if I made $200,000 in profit, only want to use $100,000 to buy my home, right? My new home.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, but if you do it that way, you're still going to pay taxes on the $200,000. So what you need to do is to sell your home, take the profits, and hopefully within, let's say, 4 or 5 days, get yourself a little contract in the house, put all that money towards your house or your new house, And then once it's all said and done, your money's still there. You still have the $200,000. It's not taxed. It's not moving anywhere. And it's like, well, how do I get it? It's like, then you get a HELOC, or you do a cash out refi, or whatever the case is. But that's how you get it. And they're like, okay, but it's more steps. It might take a little while, but your money doesn't go nowhere. It doesn't go to taxes. You still have your money. And guess what? The best thing is, when you take the 200, if you had $200,000 in your new home, you have equity in that home, and you still only want to take $100,000 out, you take up only $100,000 out, and guess what? It's a loan, so you'll get taxed on the loan.
No,
You'll get taxed on your loan, and guess what? Your $200,000 is still in your home. This is a loan from your own
yes,
loan from your own house.
exactly.
So you can technically still sell that house, the new house, and still make the money back if that was the case. But you'll have $100,000 still. You still have $200,000 into your new home. You'll have $100,000 in a loan, and you can use that for whatever you need to do. Yes, you still have to pay back on that loan, and depending on the interest rate for the HELOC, or whatever the case is, you'll still have to pay that back. But that's going to be a lot less than capital gains tax.
That capital gains tax, they will hurt your feelings when you look at how much they took out.
Yeah, and you're not getting that back. There's no way to get that back. It's just tax that you pay on anything, any kind of profit you make. You just can get it back.
Yes.
So why not do it's a longer route. There's a little bit of know-how that goes into it, but once you actually sit down and think about it, it's like, oh, I'm not getting taxed on that, and I still technically have it, and this is just a loan that payment should be pretty cheap, depending on what you use it for. Right?
Exactly.
If you want to buy a boat, then you might be losing money because the boat's kind of a black hole there. Right. But if you use that money to buy another random property.
I talked to somebody about that. I got to throw this off topic. I talked to somebody about that. And I said, I love boats, but then I said I went down to somebody, they told me about boats and all the maintenance and all the repairs and all the keep up. And I'm like, then why would I want a boat? That's what I said. Yeah. I say, why do I want a boat? I love boats, but I didn't know how much maintenance and care it takes. Yeah. And you have to stay on that too. You have to stay on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the last one, because there's like so much information, but I'm breaking down as much as possible. And it's just that mindset of a successful investor. It said, focus on cash flow. It says, understand market cycles and timing. Huge. Market cycles and timing. That is huge to me. Everything's about timing. Everything's about timing. Right now, we know the interest rate where it's at. That's where it's going to probably be for the rest of the year. And it was always said off top for 2025 that the interest rate was going to be where it's going to be at. And if it did drop, it's going to drop like maybe a quarter. Yeah. It might drop another quarter by the end of this year, but we don't know yet for sure.
It's still right now. It's still sitting. I think the 6 and 7s, right? So when I did my little to get my loan, it was sitting around 6.
Yeah, I think it's
6.5.
I think it's still in the 6s here right now. Yeah.
Which is pretty dang good if you can afford it, like we talk about.
Exactly. And like I said, always comes down to the numbers too. And then it says avoid, don't chase market timing for quick gains, avoid emotional decision making. Me and you discussed that so much. People going off of emotions, that's the worst thing you can do. Focus on fundamentals over market sentiment. It says build wealth through consistent execution. And then you got the recovery phase, expansion phase, quick phase, and contraction phase, different phases. Like rising demand, stable prices, high demand, rising prices, maximum prices, declining demand. So it's like these real estate market phases that fluctuate. So you have to stay on top of that. And then, I'm not going to go further in all this right here, but I would say the mindset is definitely the mindset shift is with investing real estate. Everybody has the mindset, not everybody, a lot of people have the mindset, especially if they work a 9-to-5 job. That's their mindset, working 9-to-5, kind of like a computer, like in the cycle wheel all the time. You got to have to break off of that and then shift your mindset to, all right, what do I need to do? Because real estate investing, period, like it can change your life in everything that you do. Oh, you could go on vacation stuff all the time if you do it right. You don't have to work in that working that cubicle or at that desk, or just break your back at working a job all the time. Like real estate is there. There's always something. When it comes to real estate, it's always something for sale.
Yeah.
Something to sell all the time. Like it always deals with the numbers and everything that you want. What your purpose and what your why is.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And then like, I was going to tell you before, like, so I listened to this guy, Sean from Think Media, and this ties into kind of like what I was just talking about. Like, if you want to do something, like, especially, do a side hustle, or you want to tell people about your story, especially real estate investing, or just in life, period.
Yeah.
So we was talking about, there's the Instagram, there's the, X, there's, Snapchat, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube is huge. So everybody goes to YouTube if they want to repair on something. Like, I know a lot of people go in there for cars, for homes, repairing and everything.
Education too.
Yeah.
We get degrees.
Huge education. Yes. Yeah. I call it, I call it a YouTube degree.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you this question off top, because I was going to ask you earlier. I was like, no, I'm going to leave this for you. So how many hours do you think worldwide that people watch YouTube consuming wise in a day's time?
Oh, I don't know.
Just throw a number out there. Just
Like
the
average?
world, just world. No, not average person, just the world itself. How many hours is consumed that people, that mankind watches YouTube in a day?
Oh, by trillions. I would say trillions of hours. I mean, in a day.
In a day.
Oh,
In a day's time.
I don't know. We talking like a 24-hour?
Yes. 24-hour period of time.
Every day, 24 hours. I don't know. I would say at least, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours. Like,
With each person, or just mankind itself? Like,
I don't
like
know. I don't know what number you're looking for. I would say billions of hours.
So
in total together,
so
watching videos.
so you're right.
Right?
1 billion hours is consumed per day
Oh yeah.
watching YouTube and content creation. And because I was learning this through Sean yesterday, because I watched him. Like, if you want to get on board on like anything with podcasts, YouTube, everything, Sean from Think Media, yep, he is that guy. So content creation is huge. From 2021 to 2023, the content creation made what? $70 billion. Not M, but B, $1 billion. And YouTube is owned by Google. A lot of people don't know that. And another gem, Google pays Apple, for being the number one search engine. I believe it's $9 billion a year.
Yeah.
So if you want to get on board, use YouTube as a great platform to tell your story, tell about your real estate, tell about anything that you do in life. Like, everybody has a story, and not everybody's going to listen, but people are going to listen.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, look how many billions of people we have on here on this earth.
It just takes that one click. Like, oh, what's this?
Everything is life changing, and that's why I did my best to do this structure right here with Real Estate Investing Podcast, because a lot of people don't know about real estate investing. Like, they see a lot of commercials and everything, but they don't know exactly what it entitles. So like today, I was doing my utmost with the time period that we do have to, like, hey, this is how you go about in real estate investing. It's not really hard. As long as you have a strong team, a realtor, a mortgage lender / broker, those two right there, you will come on board strong. And then it's just repetitious. The more you do it, the better you go at doing it, because that's just like in life. The more you do something, the better you become accustomed and you adjust to whatever you're doing.
And just get interested into. If you're not interested in it, you're not gonna want to get into it. But once you start really learning about it and like reading up on it, it's like, oh, you start seeing the benefits, the pros of it. Yeah, it's always scary to try to do that stuff, but like you said, once you start to get into it, talking to people like a realtor, a mortgage broker, you're gonna realize it's a lot more attainable than you think. And then, people buy a house all the time. It's just like buying a house. The only big difference is you're not gonna be living in the house. Well, technically, you probably could with duplex, but the biggest difference is, someone's going to pay that investment down for you, and if you might make a little money at your side if you do it right. That's it.
And I was told, if you invest in a need, you'll never lose. People need a place to stay. People need a roof over their head. Like that's what that is when it comes to needs. Like a roof over their head, food. Like if you deal with a need, it will never go out of style. Like that's just what it is. All right, Mr. Rocky, I'm glad I had you today. I'll have definitely, me and Marcus will break down a little bit more for you, but that's how you get into real estate investing. Make sure you have a strong team, have a strong support system. And that's how you start off. And then eventually you'll develop a love for it. And before you know it, you'll be doing random numbers up in your head while dreaming.
All the time. I'm on Zillow all the time. Like, hey, what's the market look like now? Is it a good time? Is it what's for sale?
Exactly. Yes.
Once you start thinking about it, hopefully your algorithm on your Facebook, YouTube starts popping
all the time
because it gets me going all the time. I'm like, oh man,
90% of my pictures is nothing but real estate quotes and all different types of real estate involved. All right. So yes, this is Professionals Real Estate Investing Podcast. If you'd like to be on the podcast, go to professionalsrealestateinvesting.com and submit your forms and everything. I will be having my new email come up very soon in the next week or two, but you can definitely give me at the website. And it's a pleasure and honor having you, Mr. Rocky.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, no problem. And everybody out there, God bless.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Let's make it happen together. Are you ready to find your dream home, sell your property for top dollar, or take your first step into real estate investing? Tony Jacobs, a dedicated real estate professional with eXp Realty in Northern California, specializes in helping individuals and families achieve their real estate goals. Whether you're searching for the perfect property, selling your home quickly and efficiently, or building wealth through strategic real estate investments, he is here to guide you every step of the way. With his expertise, market insights, and a tailored approach, he ensures you get the results you deserve. Call today at 530-646-7293 or email me at tjacobsrealestateforyou@gmail.com to schedule your free consultation. Your partner in real estate success, Tony Jacobs. eXp Realty of Northern California Incorporated, DRE number 02110892.